back to Grain and Barley. This is Joe. That's Beard. And we're doing Grangestone Highland Single Malt Scotch Whiskey Bourbon Cask finish tonight.
This was a
So,
this was a my pick this time, so
well, I mean, it's been your pick for a while,
it's been
but
my pick. We just finally got to it.
yeah. But yeah, man. So, how was your day? Before we get into all this,
Oh, my day,
shoot a little bit of shit.
my day was good, man. I just spent the day cleaning the house, man. Adulting.
Nice. Well, I was supposed to close tonight. I was supposed to get off at 9, but one of my coworkers called in, so they called and asked me if I wanted to go in early. I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go."
Nice.
I don't want to get off at 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
Hell no.
yeah. I mean, it's been a pretty boring day, man.
Oh, it
Another
must be nice.
another day off. Which,
Came home, got the new HelloFresh box.
oh yeah, I didn't get one today.
Listen, I'll tell you this: HelloFresh is great, but you have to eat everything like within like literally a couple of days.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Oh,
Our last HelloFresh box, we get one every Friday.
yeah,
One of the meals that we had, which we were gonna make today, all the vegetables were going bad in 5 days.
yeah,
That's the only, I mean, because they're like super fresh, super ripe, ready to go.
yeah. We've had Blue Apron, and we've had HelloFresh and Home Cook or Home Chef, whatever it is. All three of them, they were good. They have good recipes. I actually created a binder of the recipes
Oh yeah, that's what we're doing. We have
so
them all.
I can revisit things or
Yeah,
do my spin on
they're super
things.
easy.
Yeah,
Now, I wish they would do the directions a little different
yeah.
because I mean, now this isn't sponsored,
Now,
not by any means, but
if
I
you
mean,
want
if
to
HelloFresh,
sponsor,
if you want to, go ahead. Um, I wish the directions were a little different, like the way they're worded and stuff.
yeah,
Especially for somebody like me, I have ADD. I have a hard time paying attention. Like going through them, I miss shit, or I'll have to go back and do something that I missed because of the wording and the way that they do it.
yeah, yeah.
So
My only problem with any of those boxes and any of those recipe cards is they assume that you're good at prep stuff, and I'm not. Like
no, and that's
it says 30 minutes. Like while you're cooking this, prep or something. It takes me like an hour to prep things because I am not the
yeah.
best cutter, and
Oh, and don't give me shit with rice because I'll burn the fucking rice every time.
yeah,
But yeah, no. So we had what was it? Cajun shrimp po' boys tonight. They were pretty fucking good.
yeah. I made it was stuffed chicken with corn, pepper jack cheese, and kale from the frozen
Nice,
food section. And then I took some diced butternut squash and I cut up some poblano and roasted that with it. Threw it in some
nice.
chipotle olive oil and then topped it with some zesty Southwest style ranch dressing.
Yeah, the wife cooked tonight. I didn't cook. I didn't cook. Sunday I'm probably gonna smoke something.
Nice. Yeah, I only really cook on my days off because the wife works. So
Yeah.
then
Well,
my
that's basically what I do
yeah.
too. Like Sunday I'm off. So I'll probably end up. I think we have a pork butt in there, and I think we do have a. What the hell is it? A pork roast
Yeah.
or loin, a tenderloin, dude. But the tenderloin's like this big around,
Oh,
like
nice.
that long. So, and I smoked it last time, and it was pretty fucking good. So I'll probably do that again, as long as the fire doesn't go out this time, dude. The gas smoker just went out.
That's interesting.
I'm like, I go out there, it had been smoked, it'd been working, cooking for about 4 hours. I mean, it was close to being done already.
Yeah.
And I go out there to check it, throw some more smoke in the smoker, or some more wood in the smoker, not some more smoke.
Yeah.
Um, and the temperature's reading 0 on the outside of the smoker. And I'm like, what the fuck? I open it up. All I smell is propane. I'm like,
Yeah,
fuck.
I've been there before.
So I shut everything down, let the smell go away, started it back up, and I just went ahead and did the finish cook on it in there. Turned all the way up, wrapped in aluminum with a little bit of drippings in there, and oh, it came out amazing.
Yeah.
So
I've done the propane bomb before.
yeah. Oh,
I
dude,
was
did I ever tell you?
I was in a rush. Mine went out, and I was like, I want to get this done. I got other shit that I need to cook. I lit it up and thought I blew myself up.
Speaking of like propane bombs,
Yeah,
okay, so you know me, I like to marinate meat and whiskey and all that stuff.
yeah,
So I marinate this. I think they were like shitty steaks. I don't know what kind they were, but they were just like really crappy steaks. Needed to be marinated, and I didn't have the grill at the time, so we were doing broiling the steaks.
yeah.
So I had a smart idea. So I stick the steaks on the broiler pan, and I pour a little bit of the marinade in the bottom of the broiler pan.
Okay.
Give it a little moisture,
Yeah.
help. Well, about halfway through them cooking, I'm standing there, I'm cooking mushrooms and onions and sauteing mushrooms, onions, and peppers for the steaks.
Mm-hmm.
And the fucking oven door blows open and the fireball just goes.
Did you put whiskey in the marinade?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
dude. I'm trying to think. It was probably, at the time, it was probably Southern Comfort.
All right.
So,
I could see that on a steak.
oh, dude, dude, I love
Well,
cooking with Southern
it's got a
Comfort.
sweetness to it, and it'd be nice on a steak.
Dude, Southern Comfort used to be my drink of choice back in the day.
It'd be good on some chicken too.
Oh, it's great with pork. Great with pork. That peachy
Yeah.
flavor is awesome with pork. Dude, on here, the shirt looks like it's freaking blue.
Yeah, it looks blue on my end too.
Yeah, it's not. It's black. Yes, by the way, we got the grain and barley polo shirts. Links in the description below or in the about us. Or if you go to grainandbarley.com, click on the merch. You'll see it all.
Yeah.
You might see more than you want to see, but that's neither here nor there. So let's go ahead and.
And so we also have those resources available for your tasting notes on the website as well.
Yeah.
If you're into that, if you're wanting to compare some things, it's good to come back and remember, man, what this
And that
tastes
wheel.
like.
And especially for whiskey and scotch, there's that wheel
Mm-hmm.
there that basically, so you look at it, you look at the center, you have the center,
Mm-hmm.
and then everything goes out from there. So if you find a note and you can't quite describe it, look in the center. And if it comes close to what you're looking at, then spread out to that color and look and see if maybe there's something there that is what you're tasting.
Yeah. It's good to
So,
always come back to it, especially if you haven't had something in a while and you're going, man, did I like this or not?
so yeah, Grangestone Highland single malt Scotch, 40% alcohol, bourbon cask.
They do a lot of different cask finish. This is the bourbon cask.
I mean, my sniffer might be broke a little bit right now too. All I can smell, like even the other night, all I can smell is alcohol.
Yeah.
Yep, this is if you could listen, if you could hear that thought.
I don't know what your thought was.
Ooh.
Neither does anybody watching or listening to this, so why don't you tell them?
Well, my first thought was, do I have the Rona? Because I can barely taste this, and then the taste hit me.
Yeah, it's very light on the nose, so you're not gonna get much out of it. It's just gonna smell like a light scotch on the nose.
It smells like Tractor Supply. That's what it smells like.
Yeah.
But it's also a Highland, so
Yeah. So I got some information about Grangestone. This is from 31whiskey.com. They do a pretty good review on it and just
right.
some history and story of it. There's not much information about Grangestone itself. The earliest recording is like 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And then from the beginning, they've been described as a Scotch whiskey collection, not a distiller or a bottler. Says it.
No.
They said they're
Okay, so you go with that. Okay, Johnny Walker.
Yeah,
They're not a distiller, or well, they're a bottler, but they don't produce or distill their whiskey. Theirs is a blended Scotch. Somebody comes in, says, "I want this, 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 and this," and then the Johnny Walker manufacturer just puts it all together and then sells it.
yeah, yeah. It says that they seem to be taking an existing stock of Scotch whiskey and doing something different with it during the aging process and putting out the result as a unique spirit.
Yeah, okay. Which, like in America, that's sourcing their whiskey, which
Yeah,
a lot of Scotch does anyway.
yeah. and they're just kind of taking a
So
sourced Scotch and finishing it with different things. I know they do a sherry cask, and this is the bourbon cask. I think they do a rum
right.
cask. Um,
So these guys are sourcing their whiskey.
yeah.
So like this one is a single malt. Now, Scotch in the U.S. have like different. I don't know if it's like law or how they call it. You have bourbon, which is a corn whiskey,
Hmm.
but bourbon doesn't count. That's rye.
Hmm.
So you have a rye whiskey, right?
Yeah.
So rye is supposed to be this like the same as bourbon, 51% rye,
Okay.
but it's blended with other stuff. Well, I know with Scotch, they take they'll take they'll get a barrel from this Highland distillery, all these different Highland distilleries,
Yeah.
and they'll blend them all together. And basically, like especially like single malt means it's one type of malt
Hmm.
that is used, but they could be coming from multiple different barrels.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. The website goes on to say that some sleuths on the internet have a competent guess that Grangestone is a product of William Grant and Sons.
okay.
They also make Monkey Shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
Glenfiddich, and Belvany. Balvenie.
Okay. Belvin?
Balvenie. Balvenie. Balvenie.
Oh, okay. Belviny.
So yeah, it looks like what they're doing is that they're taking, from what I read this earlier, they're taking essentially a 3-year-old Highland Scotch whiskey,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not using old bourbon casks. They're actually using American oak that they're charring themselves and then finishing it in brand new
Oh,
charred oak.
shit.
So
Damn. Do you know, did they say like if there's an age state? Well, there's no age statement on this, but if there's an age?
they 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 said they couldn't find one either. That's why it only has a 3 out of 5 because the guy that wrote the review said that he
Mm-hmm.
wishes he could find more about the actual makeup of the whiskey
Right.
as well as the age statement on it because not sure how long it's actually aged in those new
Well, see,
barrels.
what we need to do then is get this. I mean, I know it's in the new bourbon casks,
Yeah,
but get the Grangestone 12 year and just do a little, I mean, just a little bit more comparison. I mean, there is a lot of difference between a used bourbon barrel and a brand new bourbon barrel,
yeah,
but you're still going to end up with the same flavors,
yeah,
just a little less subtle. Or with 12, like 12 year could be more than the brand new, because it's been sitting longer.
yeah. Um,
So,
oh, I think I read that wrong before. I'm reading this. It says there's no note on the bottle about a specific age for the whiskey. So all we can assume is that it sat in a combination of the 2 oak barrels a minimum of 3 years.
so
So it could
I,
be a 3-year-old Scotch that's aged for, it's going to have some age to it to pick up some of the flavors.
I mean, listen, I'm not, I'm not a snob by any means at all,
Well, I know you're pretty open when it comes to different things.
because I know enough to get me to sound stupid and for people to talk shit about me.
Yeah,
Well, and I'm okay with that.
yeah.
But what I do know is that sounds about correct because it does smell young. Okay, so you have
It does
your
it
Hickory
does smell young. It
you
has
have your Hickory Hill there, and you have your Hickory Hill
12 year.
12,
Yeah.
and you have your Hickory Hill just regular bourbon.
Hmm.
Correct? Smell the difference between those two. I don't have any Hickory Hill 12.
Well, I just drank that recently, so I'm pretty familiar with that smell. But no, I can smell it. Yeah, it smells young. It smells like a light Scotch.
I mean, it does smell dusty.
There are certain bourbon-esque notes that come out of it, and that you can tell by the flavor. It doesn't have a true like bourbon flavor.
Mm,
It,
because
it's
it's malt.
Yeah, and it's not getting a lot of the vanilla that like a
No,
bourbon would, but it is picking up some.
the malt really doesn't get as much.
Yeah,
Malted barley does not. I mean, and really, how many bourbons do you know that use barley? It's
yeah.
rye, wheat, corn. You know,
Maybe a hint of barley, but nothing.
yeah, but their barley is like literally most are 5 to 7%.
Yeah, It does have a slightly smoky flavor inside it,
I don't taste it at all.
but that also comes from the peat dried barley.
I don't taste it at all. But I
So
mean, I mean, for what it is,
I think, and from what I
it's a
understand, this
decent Scotch.
actually not bad. I've never had a Grangestone that I'm like, oh, this is terrible.
What's the
Um,
what's the price range on this one?
I'm looking it up right now because I don't remember exactly what I paid for it.
Like 50?
No, they're 750 right now.
Uh-huh.
If I go to Google, it's $30.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think
$30 ain't bad.
I think
I
I paid
mean,
20 for this because it's a 375. So, or the what is this? Yeah,
they have the
this is a
three pack at
375.
Total Wine
Yeah,
of the bourbon, the rum, and the tequila.
yeah, that's $50.
Which tequila, I mean, I would be really interested. Like a tequila finished bourbon,
Yeah. What
that would be very interesting.
what are they showing? I'm just going on there. Okay.
Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't
No,
tequila. It was rum and
it's rum,
oh,
bourbon, and
sherry,
sherry.
Spanish sherry.
Yeah, sherry. And that's $50, and it's 375s. And so
Yeah, and that's worth the
I think I
money.
paid like 20 bucks for the 375 at our local store.
Yeah.
And
Okay, so
even for the big 750 for $30, or give or take,
no, that's not bad.
it's a very drinkable whiskey for me. And as a
Now
person who
we
as a person like you who drinks more scotch than I do, would you buy this again?
Since all I've had is this 50 ml bottle, I would buy it at least once. This would be all right. I bought it. I tried it. If I bought a full bottle of this
Yeah.
for for first try, probably not.
But does
Probably
it
not.
All
It
right. So you got the small bottle. Does it pique your interest enough to go buy a bigger bottle to try it again?
it piques my interest enough to try the rum cask and the sherry cask.
Okay.
It piques my interest enough to go through their progression,
Yeah.
but it doesn't pique my interest enough to really buy another bottle.
All right. So you one of those things like it's piqued your interest enough to go, I'd like to taste this along with their rum and sherry, but maybe not just this
Now,
by itself.
now the rum one, if it's the same makeup as this, but rum cask, to me it's going to be sweeter.
It is.
Just knowing because rum is sweet.
I've had
Um,
all four of the ones that I can get, which is the bourbon, the rum, and the sherry cask
so
finish, and as long as they're in their 12 year.
so to me, sweeter is probably going to be better for
Mm-hmm.
this.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I've had better.
Yeah.
I've had better for shelf placement.
Yeah.
As in, I've had bottom shelf that I think is better than this.
It and that's the thing is like it's to me it's not that it's like the best scotch ever because it's really not the best scotch.
Right,
I think it's an interesting thing that they're doing. And
right.
that's why I was like,
I
"Oh, we'll try this because this sounds good." And I tasted it before. I was like, "I like this." And my wife who doesn't
listen.
drink whiskey at all, she doesn't mind this one or the 12 year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would give this 4.5 out of 10 mini bottles.
4.5 out of 10 mini bottles. All right.
Yep.
I'm not going to be offended by it.
I'd give it a 4.5 out of 10.
I said,
That's just it's there.
yeah,
It's middle of the road at best.
it's decent. It's a
You
drinkable
know.
thing.
See now but for me when I Scotch, it's another one of those. It has to punch me in the face
Yeah, I know
and be like, I'm here.
you like super smoky peated scotches.
Well, it's not. No, it's not even that. Okay, so Monkey Shoulder is not a peated Scotch.
Yeah.
They have this Monkey Shoulder that is peated,
Okay.
but just regular Monkey Shoulder is not peated. But it lets you know that it's there.
All right.
This, to me, it just the taste goes here and it goes like that.
Yeah, it does fall flat pretty quick.
It just
And
falls flat.
that's how you can tell that it's young.
Like the immediate first taste is probably like an 8 or 9,
Mhm.
and then it just drops off immediately, and it's like there's nothing left.
Yeah, that's a good way to tell that it's a younger whiskey too. Is that there's not much oil around on it on the glass. The glass the flavor doesn't linger very long. It is a good flavor, but it doesn't last very long. I'd actually be really interested in they said they do a 12 year.
They do 12. They do like a 15.
I know they do a 12. I've had that.
No, they do a 15 and they do. There is another
maybe an
one.
18.
I can't
18
remember
or
what it is.
21. It's up there.
They might be, yeah. But they do a 15.
But I like to see their 12-year-old, if it's a true 12-year-old, Scotch, and then after the 12 years, then put it in a brand new charred oak barrel and do like a deluxe version
Or
of this.
why not just 12 years in a brand new charred oak
Oh, that
barrel?
would be interesting. Yeah, because it'd be like
Well,
it would be the Scotch
well,
malt stuff,
mhm.
a recipe, but then in a 12 years in a bourbon barrel.
Well, listen, I have a challenge
All right.
for anybody who listens or watches. Okay. We are going to do a Cinco de Mayo episode, and we're doing it on this. It's called Tequila Ocho, Tequila Extra Anejo 2009. All I know is that one, it's a 2009. I don't know if it was bottled in 2009, if it was made in 2009, and then what year it was bottled in. The only thing I know about this is that it was aged 3 years in ex American whiskey casks. So if anybody out there can give me any more information from this, if it is usable and it is right, you may win a prize.
Stuff like that, we're not experts.
No.
As I talked to you earlier this week, I said, we know enough to start conversations and hold our own a little bit, but
And then we start sounding stupid.
we also don't know enough that we end up getting ourselves stuck in a corner or getting in trouble.
Well, that's you, not me. I just go with it
You
until
you
they
just sound
think I'm
stupid all the
right.
time. I got it.
No, I just make sure that I keep going with it until they think I'm right.
That's still being backed in a corner.
Yeah, but it usually works out in my favor.
But I said, like I said, the first episode, we're not experts by any means. We have a decent amount of knowledge between the two of us.
I know a little bit, and I'm gonna say this, and I don't care if he makes a face or says something.
Oh no, you know more than I do.
I know a little bit more than he does
You do.
because I've been trying to do the podcast for at least 2 years, at least 2 years. But really, I've been trying to do something with alcohol for like what 5 now.
Yeah.
I've been studying for a long time. Plus, I used to work at a brewery too, so I mean that helps.
Yeah.
I know more about beer than actually. I've forgotten more than I've learned about beer.
Yeah. Things that we do on this show aren't the only things that we're drinking throughout the week. So are also certain things that we also just tend to buy quite often. So if anybody, has any questions about, what we like to drink, want to know more about certain things, we'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Also, if you want to see us review something or our take on something or whatever, send it to us. We'll review it. We'll go over it. We'll see what we can do. We'll get back to you.
Well, it sounds like beer's ready to be done.
I'm ready to go if you're ready to go.
I guess we're done for the
This is
night.
going to be a short show. So.
Hey, in less than 30 minutes, we're good to go.
I'll wrap it up
But
then.
should always wrap it up.
Wrap it before you trap it.
And don't forget, if you smoke, try to quit.
Yeah, try to
It'll
quit.
help.
It definitely does help.
So,
You ready to wrap it up? All right, wrap it up. Like I said, if you have any questions about what we like to drink or have any suggestions for future shows or for us to just try, even if it's not on an episode, we'll be happy to give you our opinion on anything. info@grainandbarley.com. You can also check out our website, grainandbarley.com, obviously. You can get our merch. You can check out the links to our social medias. You can check out our shows. So there are the tasting notes on there.
Thanks for stopping by.
And that's about it. Thank you so much. Catch you next time.
Peace.
So much.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I needed this.